And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Again, very short break here, only a minute or so, but we have returned with our second match of the night, with our final match of the night. Again, only 2 matches here in the lower bracket, and both these matches are elimination matches, so we did say goodbye to MaxPax, and we will now say goodbye to another player, either Cure or Solar. And again, Solar, he's our most recent GSL champion. Cure, one of the best Terrans in the world right now as well. They are going to be facing off, and this is going to be a spicy one. And I do expect this to be more back and forth. I do expect this to be more competitive between the 2 players, and I'm hoping for not another 4-0. I'm hoping, at least. I'm hoping. I want to believe that we can make a series out of this, as our players are soon to face off here. What I will say is that Cure is kind of known for his other matchups. I would say that his best matchup is TVP. He has a world-class, I would say second best in the world TVP, second only to Clem. I would say Clem and then Cure just under him when it comes to Terran versus Protoss. When it comes to TVT, Cure also is terrifying as well. He can take it to any Terran out there, whether it's Clem, Maru, Bjorn, Gumiho. I mean, a lot of them have really good TVT and they go back and forth, but Cure's is terrifying in his own right. Against Zerg, though, I would say that this is his weakest matchup. I mean, everyone has the weakest matchup, unfortunately. It's just how the game works. And I do think that this is where Cure can struggle a little bit more against some of the other aggressive Zerg players. I'm talking about players like Raynor and Dark. Against Solar, Solar's much more standard. I think this is a good thing for Cure. I think it's a good thing for him as we get ready here for this best of 7. Cure, I think he thrives in a much more standard game, you know, where he doesn't have to worry about like Roach or 1-1 Roach timings, or like Link Bane Floods and all-ins and Link Queen Nidus all-ins. If Cure doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff, he can focus on his macro, focus on his drop play, on his multitasking, on his overall gameplay here, then he can thrive. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have Cure for Team Liquid. And in the top left, going for a 15-15, we have Solar for onside. And if you are in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think this best of 7 will unfold. Will it go the way of the Terran or the way of the Zerg? Up to you to decide. Again, I don't think this is going to be an easy decision to make, just because I do believe that these 2 are closer in skill and it'll be a closer series between them. So best of luck. Best of luck, as Solar's going for a 15-15, Cure going for a low ground 2-Rax Reaper. Again, Cure has been very fond of this. In the previous patch, Cure would exclusively go 2-Rax Reaper into 3cc. In the current patch, though, Cure has been playing around with 3-Rax Reaper. He has been incorporating that a little bit more, which has been great to see. That is part of the power behind this, is that you can mix in more aggressive variations. I'm not saying that he will 3-Rax Reaper this game, but he can, and Solar knows that, so he's going to have to be that much more adept at scouting. Here to recognize and read what Cure is up to. For now, just 2-Rax Reaper. Reaper's going to be moving out. For those that are curious, the goal of this build, the goal of this opener from Cure is to contain the Zerg player on 2 bases. Maybe get a drone or 2, but we shouldn't really be killing any workers. Like, the Zerg player should be able to preserve them, and it's really just about containing them and delaying their economy, delaying their overall production as well, and expanding behind it. Now, there are different follow-ups that we can go for other than just the natural base. We can go 3cc before Starport. We can even go 3cc before Factory if we wanted to be even greedier. We could go into a 4-Rax behind this as well for something more aggressive. We'll see what Cure does decide to go for. Typically, he goes for something more economic, but we'll see. But now Reapers are moving out, back at home to talk about Solar's opener. Remember, he went for a 15-15. What does that mean? That means delayed gases on the drone. It escapes. No, it doesn't. The drone will go down. A nice pick off already here by Cure. That should not have happened. Worker does already go down. What I was going to say here is that Solar, his gases were delayed, and Link speed just now does start up. He actually did prioritize gas income once he realized what was going on. So good adaptation there out of Solar. The Link speed is going to be a little bit more delayed than it would usually be, as we have invested into only 3 Reapers. I mean, again, we don't need any more than that. 3 Reapers is the bare minimum, and we already killed a drone, so we've already done quite a lot. And then we get a second drone. A second worker does go down. The Reapers do escape, and this is already becoming a bit too much. Can we get another? Okay, we're good. But again, drones should not have been going down here, and Solar has been struggling. A big reason for this, remember, because he went 15-15, there weren't any lings. Now he was forced to make lings, but he wanted to skip them. He was relying on only queens to defend, and he was not able to. Behind this, third CC before starport, economic follow-up. Not the greediest follow-up, but economic nonetheless from Cure, as he's getting ready for the mid-game. He's going to be settling into the mid-game here. Working on that CC, the Reapers, they race back home, fully aware that Link Speed was about to finish. Link Speed is finishing up in 5 seconds, and the Reapers are safe behind the wall. And now with this 3CC 2-on-1, it is going to be around it is going to be a delayed drop actually. So around like a 6-minute-ish drop timing from Cure with Stim with 16 Marines. Until then though, Solar is free to drone. Solar, he is free to just saturate all his bases. Now, because the medevacs are delayed, this is why when we go for this kind of 3CC 2-on-1 variation, we have Hellions on the way. A handful of Hellions. Interesting, we're even going for a Liberator first, delaying the medevacs even further because we're still building up the Marines. Now, it's not going to be too many. This should be 4 Hellions. 4 Hellions and a Liberator. So just a small marauding force just to have a presence on the map. Meanwhile, Solar accurately going for a double Evo Chamber. I do like this. So Solar, he is delaying his lair, he's delaying his Baneling Nest for faster 1-1 upgrades, and he can afford to because he's under no threat. Like, there's no pressure, there's no need to rush into Banelings and rush into Baneling speed. Cure, he's just applying some light pressure, and Solar, he can be greedy. He can afford to be greedy. As there we go, +1 melee does start up, and we should be seeing +1 carapace as well. So really fast upgrades from the Zerg player as he's establishing his third base. Meanwhile, Cure is going to try and pull Solar apart. We have the Liberator on the right hand side. We have Hellion Reaper towards the left. Ooh, can we get a tumor? Do you get a tumor? Not too bad. Hoping for a second tumor behind it, which we did manage to get as well. Oh, can we get the third tumor? Good control here from Cure. Liberator gets into the main base. 2 more drones go down. And here comes that draw play, as we mentioned. Around the 545-ish mark. Getting across the map around 550. And we can now assert a little bit more pressure. Can the Queens keep up here with the aggression of Cure? Lair now on the way. Baneling Nest as well. Cure pushing in from that right-hand side. Getting some of these tumors. Queens are in position. We go for the dive. We get 1. Ooh, we got a high energy Queen as well. Big pickoff, and we deny the 4th base. Cure, he's achieving a lot of damage already. Earlier, we denied the 3rd. We killed a couple of workers. Here, Queens. Cancelled bases. Really good stuff. Really good stuff out of Cure. Again, Solar just 1 step behind. Humor's getting shut down. Cure rotating over towards the would-be 4th. Coming back in, hoping to catch a Queen once again. Meanwhile, Solar, he's going Lingbane initially into Hydra. So Lingbane Hydra is a composition of choice for Solar. Quite a solid composition. We're getting there. And we catch another Queen. Queen goes down, tumors, and an Overlord as well. Again, really good pickoffs. The Liberator is still not dealt with. Siege is back up. 2 more drones go down. And Solar is being pulled apart. Can we get another Queen? Oh, not quite. But Cure now taking a slight lead here in the supplies. And the scary thing here is that this entire time Cure has been building up an army. Oh, Liberator finally goes down, but he's been building up an army of tanks, of Marines. He's only been focusing on harassment, on drop play, and now we're pushing. Now we're committed. Now we're going to be moving out. And can Solar deal with this? Now, Baneling Speed has finished. Has completed. Lingbane was spotted. Remember, 1-1 is done because of the fast upgrades. Solar does currently have an upgrade lead. 1-1 versus 0-0. But in a couple of seconds, 1-1 is about to finish up for Cure to even up those upgrades. To even things up. So we do lift up. Sieging up those tanks on the high ground. Pushing towards the bases. We do see a bit of a surround being set up though. Solar coming from behind. The hatchery taking a lot of damage. It looks like we will collapse on these tanks. Good position here with the Hellbats. But the tanks will be cleaned up. At the same time, the Marines are going ham. The Marines are going uncontested, and they will get the Queens. And they could get the base as well. The target firing up. Oh, not quite there. We take the Baileys to the face. Cure. Mate, he had enough to end the game. He had enough to kill this army and to kill the base as well, but he takes 2 big Baileys to the face. Ay, ay, ay. Despite that, though, even though there was potential with that army, Cure still has a supply lead, and he still has momentum. He's pushing out. He may still break this location. I think he will. Yeah, Solar, he knows that he evacuates. He does evacuate those workers. Lings are getting caught out. Wintermine's going to be burrowing. This time we are paying attention. This time, yeah, good target firing, good splits as well. Very good control here out of Cure. And he has just achieved too much already this game. He has broken his opponent. The hatchery does fall. Tanks are sieging up, and there just aren't enough Baileys. There just isn't enough on the ground here for Solar. Cure just trading too efficiently. Again, earlier he did take some Baileys to the face, which was brutal, but again, that was not enough to recover for Solar. Was not enough. Cure, what's he doing? He's snowballing out of control, Bobby. The dominoes have been falling one after the other. Baileys are just barely morphing in. Decent Bailey connections. Not bad. Not too bad here as we have to pull back to the tank. Once again, big tank volleys going off. Cure still rallying everything across the map. Yeah, Baileys, they will not connect. It's just, there's 3 Baileys in total. There's 1 done, 2 on the way. It's just Ling Hydra. It's not going to trade well enough. Not against Marines. Not against men with gun. As we scan ahead of time, we see the lack of army. And Solar, he's just treading water at this point. He's just trying to stay afloat. We have 4 more Bailings on the way. 4 more Bailings in production. As we're still just waiting for reinforcements. I like the baits from that Widowmine. Drone does give its life. Oh. Mine shots once again going off. Hive is done. Vipers are amassing. That will help. Will help here. Oh my god. Mine shot's gonna be going off again. The Baileys, they can't quite get on top of the army. There's no creep to work with. Nice power bomb though. Ooh. We take down a lot of medevacs. Decent trades here from Solar. But these Hydras are so exposed. They're so exposed, they're so expensive, and so fragile. Overall good positioning here from Cure. And again, even though Solar's been able to hold on, he's just contained to 4 bases, contained to 70 workers at this point. And he's just bleeding out too much in every single one of these trades. And Bailey's a roll on in. We do take down a lot of these medevacs. A lot of medevacs going to be going down. We force the stim. The Hydras, they're trying to break through. They're trying. That's not going to be enough though. Barely not. Again, I'm impressed by how well Soul's been able to like survive essentially and like barely force back these armies, barely force back these pushes. A lot of medevacs just went down. Cure, he's losing a bit of steam. He's losing a bit of momentum. Solar, he's holding. I spoke too soon though. He was holding until he wasn't. GG gets called. Cure will take game number 1. God, that was game 1. Jesus. I didn't feel like it. GG. But yeah, basically, Cure, he gained a lot of momentum. A lot of momentum from the start of the game when he denied the 4th base, when he was killing queens, how well he was trading against the Lings. Like, Cure was in the driver's seat the entire time. There were a couple of moments where Cure slipped up. We mentioned it, right? The moment when the Bailings connected. It was 2 Bailings when they connected with the Marines. And that did kind of elongate the game. The game would have ended a lot sooner if that hadn't happened. But like that still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough to recoup the losses that Solar had sustained just because he had such a rough early and mid game. Like that was a rocky game from Solar. Very rocky, and it just really well done out of Cure. Really nicely done. Just getting himself in a really good position, and at a certain point he could just rally. He could just rally across the map and just eventually break through. GG. With that, interesting vetoes. Okay, so we have Hecate vetoed from Solo. We have Rise of Station from Cure, which means Equilibrium is going to be played out. Solar, he can fight back. But here we go. In the top right hand corner, we have for Team Liquid, Cure. And in the top left, we have his opponent. We have for Onside, it is Solar. Now, Equilibrium is one of those maps that typically gets vetoed, but not this time. It's a best of 7. We have limited vetoes available, so this map is available, and this is a good map for Solar to come back on. The reason for this is because 1, long rush distance by ground. 2, a lot of bases to be taken. 3, we have the goal base as well, which can be taken very quickly. As a natural, as a third, as a fourth, you can take that goal base a little bit faster to try to rush into it and boost your economy. And 4, it's very wide open. Very wide open in the center of the map. You can have some really good engagements, really good trades. As a result, we have seen a lot of late game. We've seen a lot of late game here on Equilibrium just because it's so difficult for the Terran player to really commit and really like commit to a lot of these fights and engagements early on without being surrounded. So we've seen a lot of Terran players just turtle up and cut the map in half. Just cut the map in half, and then we get, Ghost Tank Lib Thor, versus Broodlord Infestor, and it could happen again. We've seen a lot of those kind of games here on Equilibrium already. We'll see if it happens here. We'll see if it does happen here. Also, what I should emphasize as well, even though like Dark had a really rough game last game, a lot of it was because of the momentum that Cure got early on. StarCraft is the way that the game plays out. If you do take some early game losses, like early worker kills, queens, bases being denied, the earlier on this happens, the worse off you are. Like the harder it snowballs and the more dominoes start falling early on, and it's just so difficult to recover from that kind of position. Not impossible, but difficult. It's like you have to rely on like your own link counter damage or bailing run-bys or catching the army off guard. Like things need to go your way, and your opponent needs to slip up and make mistakes as well. If you lose too much early on. And I imagine that won't happen this time. I imagine Solar, his mineral line should be a lot more safe and secure here in Game 2. This time it was a hatch gas pull, so faster link speed. Meanwhile, third CC before starport, economic opener at a Cure. Let's go. Much more economic than the previous game. Yeah, third CC already on the way. And we should be easing into a bit of a longer game. Curie does confirm the third base location, does confirm that Solar isn't rushing into the gold. Thankfully for Cure. Gold base is not being taken yet. Not being taken yet. As we do have our queens just zoning this away, forcing back that Reaper. You have Hellions behind this. And interesting, it's going to be 3cc into Lib Hellion. I believe Cure is doing this without Viking, so very risky here, very risky. Because he skipped the Viking, that means that Solar has a little bit more scouting information. Does mean that he can confirm this and be ready for this. But it also means that this hits faster. So there's a bit of a give and take. As the Hellion Reaper does hit that southern base. Trading, getting a bit of damage done. Cure does rotate back around. Again, just looking for a way in, trying to outposition those queens. So far, Solar is able to keep up. Behind this, there's no add-on swap, so we do have Stim on the way on that Rax. Overlord coming in for a scout, and it looks like the scout is going to be denied. So Overlord does fall. And we have no idea that Liberators are on the way. We are in the dark as more Hellions are amassing. Ooh, Ling, I think, barely didn't get eyes on the Lib. So the goal here is either or. Either the Hellions keep attention of the Queens here towards the south, and then the Liberator slips in, or the Liberator drags away the attention of the Queens, and then the Hellions dive in. And here we go, we're pushing one forward. We're diving up with the Queens! And one Queen's going to be going down. Show us! Queen does fall. No energy for Transfuse. At the same time, Liberator sieges up, but the Liberator is within range of the Spore Crawler. A little bit mismanaged there. Unfortunately, did siege up within range. Liberator goes down, but at least we kill a Queen. So the Hellions did well for themselves. They did do well as we work our way towards the natural, getting a drone. At the same time, Solo going for his own link counterattack, and he will find a mineral line. He slips in, he gets a couple of SCVs. Yeah, 2 SCVs go down. Oh, I'm loving the SimCity there from Cure. That's so cool. Where you can see he's got like a 1 mineral space wall there. It's a mineral? 1 marine space wall. So a very narrow choke point. So SCVs can kind of ferry back and forth. I don't know if that was intentional or not because he's walling it off. But regardless, worked well. Did work well. Kir going to be rotating towards the south. 1-1 is on the way for Solar. Remember, he did prioritize his Evo chambers just like the previous game. So Solar rushing into 1-1, followed by the Bathing Nest, followed by the Lair and Bathing Speed. But just faster 1-1 upgrades. And Kira once again going for a split push. Now what's important is that he has still maintained his Hellion count. It is still looking strong, still looking healthy. Double jump towards the north, Hellions towards the south. Can we find more damage? So far, we've killed a couple of workers and a Queen or 2. The mineral line. The mineral line is exposed! And drones are getting roasted. Oh my god, 6 workers go down instantly at the gold. Again, just the wrong time to transfer over. And we dive into the mineral line. More workers going down. We get eyes on the Hydra Den. It's going to be 13 dead workers. For the Hellions, a good trade. A good trade for Cure. He did lose a lot of Marines, though. A lot of Marines did go down in the main, unfortunately. But we can still be active. We still clear up a lot of creep. Can threaten that base. Good target firing. Getting 2 banelings. Drop threatening the main. At the same time, double drop towards the south. Solar, he has been taking some losses here. He's still redroning, resaturating. We're going in towards the gold once again. Drones are being targeted down. Good target firing here out of Cure. It's going to be pulling back to the Widowmine. Up. Widowmine is going to get baited out. Good moves out of Solar. Collapses on the Marines. Will not get them. Cure is going to be holding on and reinforcing. He lost his Widowmine, but he will be retaining those Marines. For now, the Banelings, they come in! And he's not looking. Ooh, barely wasn't looking. A lot of Marines get taken out. Nice catch out of Solar. And a handful of Marines do escape. And Solar is fighting back. He is fighting back. He's holding on. You can see that he's keeping up in supply. And, oh, we're being very tech heavy. This is greedy. Solar, he threw down the Hydra Den. He has a Hive and a Lurker Den on the way. He's rushing into Lurker tech. Can he get there? Can he get through in time? The mines! Ooh. Oh my god. Decent mine shots. Forced a bit of friendly fire. But Marlings did go down as well. At the same time, Kira pushing towards the south. But there's plenty in position. Good mine shot though. Took out a lot of Banelings. Good trades here out of Cure. That's always looking for. Just good trades. And one more mine. Connecting with those links. And now Cure can focus on that forward push, on the northern push. Yeah, the Marines not quite ready to split. Rough trades there from Cure. But this time he's paying attention. Does target down the Banelings. Ooh, as we force him friendly fire. He forced back the army. Solar, he is holding. He's keeping up. He's holding on. Shutting down these drops. Forcing back the Marines. And you know what? The Lurker Den is done. The Lurker Den is done. The Hive is done. We have Adrenal on the way. Vipers. Seismic Spines. I almost said Seismic Toss. I did. But Lurker Range. Lurker Range is on the way. And Solar's maxing out. Again, we spoke about the power of Equilibrium. Because it's so large, because it's so long, it takes so long for a Cure to really come in with these pushes, to reinforce these armies. Solar, he has extra seconds here to prepare, and every second counts. As a result, Solar, he has been able to hold on without losing too much. He's been able to trade well enough. Now he's maxed. And now suddenly the turns are tabling. Suddenly, Solar, who's been defending for the past 10 minutes, can be the aggressor. He can turn things here on its head. Checks the gold. Gets eyes on the planetary. Push towards the north. Nidus Worm is on the way. Lurkers soon thereafter. Now suddenly Cure is on the back foot. And this is the moment where Cure needs to start transitioning. There we go. Ghost Academy on the way. We need a Ghost Academy. We need Liberator production. Tank production. Mindshot's going to be going up. Cure is still trying to establish that goal base. Split between two bases. Oh, doesn't quite get those Vipers. Good mind connection on the Banelings. There's still a lot of Banelings. So a large army threatening that army. Ooh, and we do connect. A late split there out of Cure. Banelings, they shut down the Bio army. We go straight for the mineral line as well. We don't commit. Do pull back. Solar still maxed out. Coming back in. Trying to catch Cure off guard. It does get the SCVs. They come back a little bit too soon. Solar bleeding out a lot of his Ling Bane though. Uh-oh. Oh, this is not going to be a good fight for the Zerg. Bleeding out a lot of Hydras. Initially things were okay, but again, too many Hydras do go down. Cure fighting back. As Solar did overextend. And now suddenly, Cure has momentum. Suddenly things swing in favor of the Terran. Fever's going to be knocked down. Lings are coming in, but it's only Ling. No Banelings. Banelings are still in production. 5 of them. And Cure, he can move out, clearing up a lot of this creep. 5 Banelings to finish. We have some Lunkers on the way. But I do want to favor Cure's army, at least until the Lurkers arrive. Lurkers will change everything. Lurkers will slow things down. We have some Ghosts on the way. We still need some Libs. We still need tanks. The planetary is still not done. SCV is going to be going down. We get 4 workers. Workers here. As Cure, he does lose map control. The lurker count getting higher and higher. Now remember, we still have that Nidus. We have the potential Nidus with lurkers into the main for the kill move. There it is. Nidus on the way. Mine's just going to be going off. Cure a little bit distracted. That's the goal here, to distract Cure. Big Mine's just going to be connecting. Another miss trades with the Banelings here. Solar does have to pull back. Decent power bomb, and here comes that Nidus Worm. Here come the Lurkers. That was the purpose. Solar did overextend, but it was worth it as he takes control of the main base. As he's pushing towards the production. The Liberators have arrived to freedom. We have freedom. As we get 13 SCV kills, Lings, they slip into the mineral line. Workers are going down. And economically, Cure, he is hurting. Down to less than 60 workers. Oh my god. Really good mine shot. Juicy mine connection with the main army. Baneling's gonna try and connect. Good splits here out of Cure. Spreading out his army, dealing with the Banelings. Solar does have eyes on bottom left and he has to deny it. There we go. Lurkers, they come in. Going for the gold once again. Not a lot of Banelings though. That's a lot of ghosts. Can we save the planetary? Can we save the base? We cannot. Planetary falls. We catch some of these ghosts, some of these marines. Oh my god, and the Ling run-bys, they just don't stop. They just do not stop here as we get in once again, getting another 18 SCVs. And Solo is just pulling Cure apart left and right. Cure, he responds to the Ling run-by, but he exposes his southern bases at CC. It's so low, and it will go down. There's no gold base either, not anymore. Soon to be retaken, but not as a planetary, as an orbital. It's going to be that much more vulnerable. And Solo, he just keeps remaxing, catching more of these marauders. Almost catching some of the ghosts. And again, as soon as those lurkers popped out, Solar, he has kind of been in the driver's seat here. He's had control of the game. Did force Cure back. Lurkers are still alive, by the way. They're still in the Nidus. Nidus that doesn't exist yet. Hasn't been thrown down. Do have them. And Cure doing whatever he can to try to hold on to that base. Hold on to the gold. That's going to be going down. Being rolling in. We do have some fungals. Big mine shots. Big mine connections. Massive connections on those Banelings. But is it going to be enough? Because we do connect with our fungal growths. Here comes the surround. And GG gets called. There's just too much here from the Zerg player. Too much from Solar. And he will fight back. He will take game number 2. GG. GG. Well played. Again, Equilibrium was Solar's map. It was his chance, his opportunity to come back in this series. And he was able to do so. Again, the map working against Cure's aggressive nature. He was trying to go for drop play, trying to go for split pushes, but it just takes so long. It just takes so long, not just to hit, not just to attack, but also to reinforce. Solo was a lot more comfortable. He had a lot more breathing room. He shut down the drop play, shut down the pushes, and he could take control of the game. He could take control of the map. GG. GG, well played. We're tied up. We're tied up 1-1. And it looks like Solo did ask for a small break. Did leave it. Oh, there's a doggo. Is it? Hold on. It's behind the chair. But there's a doggo in the background. Dog Joe. Of Solo's apartment. Of Solo's apartment. We'll keep an eye out for him. I don't know his name. If anyone in the chat knows his name, let us know. Beautiful. But yeah, Solo just asking for a moment here. Preparing for game number 3. Game 3 going to be on Solaris. You can see the map order, the maps of choice. See Noam Chomsky. It's beautiful. I just realized it turned into a Korean pro. I don't really care who wins this game. I just hope they show good StarCraft for the fans. True, true. I mean, I'm very similar here. Like, I'm fond of both of these players. I mean, I'm fond of everyone, really. Like, I wanted to see Max do well. I want to see Dark do well. It's a little bit heartbreaking for me because I want these players to achieve a lot in this tournament, but it's a losers match, right? It's an elimination match. So one of them will fall. One will go down. I'm more of a viewing pro. I hope I can view some good games. True, true. Let's go. For the fans. But yeah, it looks like Solo, he has returned. And we're getting ready for game number 3. Oh, so we are loading on in. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Cure for Team Liquid. And in the top right, we have for onside, it is Solar. Oh, once again. Hello, Cure. Bienvenidos. We are setting up for a proxy. Oh, sorry, proxy? What? We're setting up for a 2-Rax. 2-Rax Reaper here from Cure on the low ground. Once again, looking to assert himself, looking to apply some pressure. And we did see Cure gain a lot of success in game 1. Did see him gain a lot of success there. Was able to achieve quite a lot. We'll see if he can replicate that success here in game number 2. Sorry, game number 3. So far, MaxPax let me down. Yeah, I mean, MaxPax specifically, he's always had a hard time against Dark. Like, he's always had a rough time against Dark. Fun fact, Dark has always looked strong against MaxPax and a little bit weaker against Hero. Just because of their playstyles, right? Like, we don't have to get into it, but again, MaxPax, he does thrive a little bit more into the mid to late game off of more standard play. And Hero is more chaotic. He's more willing to just throw caution to the wind and be hyper aggressive, go Mass Oracle, go for these weird Glaive Adept timings. Yeah, stylistically, the matchup between Dark and MaxPax did favor Dark. But still, MaxPax still an amazing player. Give him anyone else and he'll look strong, Bobby. He'll look strong. And I'm sure the next time they face off, it will be a closer series as well. I'm sure. As we are getting into our openers, as I mentioned before, it was a 2-Rax Reaper out of Cure. 2-Rax Reaper, going to be moving out across the map. If you remember referring to game number 1, Cure does have it in him to go 3-Rax Reaper if he sees an opportunity. So bear that in mind, that he can always spice it up. He won't be doing so this time. This game we can see a CC behind this, so it's not going to be, we're not going to be doubling down onto a 3rd Rax, but it's something that he can do at some point in this series. As Reapers are moving out, they hit the natural. Going to be dancing with these Lings. And Solo has to make sure he has secure defense this time. Remember, in game 1, Solo lost 2 drones. He lost 2 workers against these Reapers, which was already too much damage. This time, Solo, he does preserve his workers, the drones are kept safe, and Solo's being contained. If you're curious when it comes to the purpose of this build from Cure, the build is not to kill his opponent, it is to contain. It is to gain an economic lead, an economic advantage. So to knock those queens away, we rotate back around, we're looking for the 3rd, making sure that it's not up and running. The drone has been kept hidden, but Cure is looking. He's looking for that drone, and it looks like he, will he come across it? Up, he will! He does come across it. Gas is thrown down, and this will keep these Reapers busy, which means Solo can expand. Up! Oh, as the drone does fall. Likewise, Link speed on the horizon. 3rd base on the way for Solar, and Cure has to race back home. As a follow-up, 3rd CC before Starport. Or I should say, 3 CC 211 from Cure. So just like the previous game, we're going to be getting into additional factory production. Different variation this time. This is something that Cure is very fond of. He's very fond of this. It's going to be double Cyclone into Hellions. So it's only going to be 2 Cyclones. The purpose of this is to gain map control. It's to shut down Overlords and to threaten Queens. And the Hellions will be coming out to support these Cyclones. To support the Cyclones while we're being active. Behind this, we're building up a Marine count. And we're going to be hitting stim timing at around 6 minutes with those 2 medevacs. So Cure just getting into the swing of things. Cyclones are out. Hellions are on the way. And again, we're looking for Overlords. Unfortunately, the Overlord isn't quite there. So Cure is looking for the Overlord, but it's over towards the right-hand side instead. So that's an unfortunate moment for Cure. Reapers have hit the field. Solo going to be joining as hard as he can behind this to catch back up. Your Overlord is in another castle. Smooch. And once again, Solo going double EVA chamber for faster double upgrades. So hyperfixation once again out of Solar, which again is something he can get away with against this build from Cure. Is perfectly safe to do so. Ooh, this is different though. We're spicing it up here. Now, I assume that this will just be a double medevac 16 Marine drop, and it is, but we also have an Armory on the way, which means it's a Hellbat push. It's still going to be the 16 Marines, but they're going to have Hellbats to support them alongside the Cyclones. A lot of firepower with this timing, and it's going to hit like a truck. Now, Solar, he will have Lings and Queens to defend. I believe this will hit before 1-1. As we do manage to get a queen. Oh, the transfuse barely keeps it alive. Got transfuse there out of Solar. But again, the 1-1 upgrades will not finish in time for this, and because we opened up double Evo chamber, that means we don't have a Baneling nest. It just now starts. Banelings are delayed. Banelings will not be a part of this, and this is going to be a tight hold for Solar. Oh boy. There we go. He tries to come in for a surround. The Littlelings do get shaved off. Marines have been revealed. Hellbats are morphed in as well. And Curie's pushing towards that third base. Can Solar hold? Marines are coming in. But the Marines, they just go to town on these Lings. We try to set up for a surround. With the Hellions, they clean up those Lings. And we're snowballing out of control. The Marines, they sim on forward. We dive on top of the Queens, and they're going to be going down one after the other. And Solar, he has been broken. GG gets called. Cure takes game number 3. GG, well played. A very deadly push there out of Cure. Coming out of left field. And Solar was being a little bit too greedy there, and I don't fault him for it. Remember, Solar, he recognized the 3cc build, so he skipped his Baneling nest. He did skip the Baneling nest. He was safe to do so. Little did he know that Cure, again, spiced up that build with the Hellbat push instead, with that armory, and those Hellbats went to town. They did such a great job at supporting the army and just barbecuing and roasting up so many of those Lings. The Lings, they just melted before that army, and just like that, Cure takes the game. Does take the game there. So Solar caught with his pants down. Solar caught being too greedy, and I wouldn't be surprised if from this moment forward, when it comes to 3cc builds, that Solar goes Baneling nest first. I wouldn't be surprised if he adjusts now, just to be safe, going for the Baneling nest first before Evo chamber. He may adjust, he might not. We'll see. We shall see. Again, crisp timing there out of Cure. Likewise, Solar also wasn't able to piece it together either. So we're getting into game number 4. And in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran, Cure for Team Liquid. And in the bottom right, we have her on side, Solar. We go. So again, basically, with that build, Cure did punish the greed of Solar. I should say maybe Cure, that was almost like an anti-meta build, because it's very meta. It's very meta. Oh, it's very much so standard. Maybe that's a easier way to phrase it. It's very standard for a Zerg player to delay their Baneling nest when up against a 3cc build, because the Terran player is being economic, right? They're being economic, so you want to likewise be greedy as well and cut corners to keep up with the Terran. So that's why, like, for Cure to just sprinkle in that armory as well, just to like try to catch his opponent off guard and punish Solar, was nice. It was a really nice move. And again, did punish Solar quite hard. And that may influence how Solar plays out the rest of these games and how he responds to Cure's builds. Meanwhile, once again, 2-Rax Reaper. 2-Rax Reaper out of Cure. Just like the previous game. Now, we did mention before, remember, that Cure, he is one that can sprinkle in and mix in 3-Rax Reaper. We'll see if he does whip it out here in game number 4 or at another point in this series. But now Overlord is coming in, and we're going to get eyes on the 2 Raxes. We will confirm. Again, Hard Lead is a short rush distance by ground, so aggression is favored here on Hard Lead, and this can get out of hand. Fights can kind of swing quite heavily here in one way or the other, depending on how they do go on. Meanwhile, we would have already seen a 3rd Rax by now, so it should be an expansion out of Cure. There it is, expansion on the low ground, and Solar does confirm. So good scouting out of Solar. He's aware what's going on. Reapers, they get across the map. And we will... Oh boy, we barely get a drone. Big reaction out of Solar there on cams. That should not have happened. A bit of a slip up there. Not the first time. We've seen this already this series out of Solar. These early game Reapers, they keep getting damage done. It doesn't sound like a lot, but 1 or 2 drones is huge here this early on. Just because we barely have any workers to begin with. So we get 1 drone and 1 Ling. Reapers, they make their way into the main base once again, getting even more links here in the main. Queens off of creep. We can go for the drones. No shot. Another drone goes down. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Solar just expecting these Reapers to respect the lings and not dive in. Can we get another drone? Oh, not quite. Well, I mean, 2 workers in total. Cure getting a little bit greedy. Does lose 2 Reapers. And now Solar can expand. But again, Solar, he's been contained this entire time anyway. He still hasn't taken a third. Just now he's taking his 3rd base. Overall, I would say good damage here from Cure. I mean, sure, he lost 2 of his Reapers, but the Reapers, they don't really scale well into the mid game. They've served their purpose. They've done their damage. And they've done well. Link's going to be counter-attacking, but we're in position. It is going to be 3rd CC behind this. It's going to be 3 CC 2-on-1 once again. And interesting, this time Cure is not going for Cyclones first. He's going for Hellions first. No Cyclones this time. So again, that was 2 Reapers for 3 drones and 5 lings. That's a good trade for the Terran. That's a good trade. Stim being prioritized. I'm curious if Solar sticks to his guns and goes double Evo Chamber, or if he responds to what's been happening in that last game and if he goes Bailey Nest first. It should be double Evo Chamber still. Like, what are the chances he goes for another Hellbat push, right? What are the chances? Hellion's going to be moving out. Be threatening the creep. Threatening the edge here of the bases. Ooh, as we're diving in, oh my god, a bit of an overextension here. Hellion goes down. Good start for Solar. Good start for Solar, and killing 1 Hellion already here should tell him and should make him be a little bit safer when it comes to getting into his tech. As Cure is committing to additional Hellion production, actually. Okay. He's committing quite hard to Hellions, more so than usual, which is a little bit odd. There's that double Evo chamber from Solar. So once again, cutting corners, once again delaying that Bailey Nest. Hellions are going to be threatening the front door. Threatening those queens. We'll see if Cure can achieve a little bit more here. The Liberator does get into the mineral line, denies a lot of mining here in the main base. At the same time, Hellions have rotated over towards the left-hand side, and we're not going for any kind of crazy Hellbat push. We have double eBay on the way for Cure. Oh, does shave off a lot of those things. And big volley score, 4 drones go down. The Queen does escape. And Solar having a hard time keeping up. A lot of these lava going down as well. Even some drones. And we're going to be reinforcing with that double marine drop. Stim is done. We have 16 marines. Now this time there won't be any Hellbats, but these Hellions, they can still trade very nicely against Pure Ling. Here we go. We stim on forward. This time we have plenty of queens in position. We have plenty of transfused energy as well. Yeah, Curie respects it. He does respect it. We'll back off. And we're settling in towards the mid game. Solar on 3-way saturation. Cure not too far behind him, with his own 3rd base getting up and running. Gonna be committed to Ling Bane. Baneling Nest is done. Baneling Speed is on the way immediately. Cure trying to be active. Hellion dive in towards the 3rd base, and we are out of position, by the way. The drones are lining up. They are lining up here. 5 workers go down. Drop into the main and getting a Spore Crawler as well. Catching the Banelings. Oh. But good trades here from Cure. He even gets the Queen. He can go back in. Good, he doesn't go for it though. He does back off. Very mature decision there out of Cure. Doesn't throw away his army, and he has so much momentum. You can see the supply lead here for Cure. He's just been trading so well so far. Big Ling run by, doesn't find anything at the natural. We'll find SCVs at the 3rd though. Yeah, so he's going to be going down. The Hellions are forced to race back home. They get surrounded. Bit of miscontrol out of Cure. Yeah, the move command. The Hellions go down. The SCV's going to be folding as well. Cure, he has to commit. And 9 SCVs fall back at home. Amidst all this chaos, can Solo hold? Gets a tank. Does manage to bring down one of those tanks. Cure now suddenly in trouble. Again, if he hadn't lost his mineral line, he would be in control right now. 12 SCVs did fall. And we're getting ready for a surround. Solar collapsing on this position. Good position though out of Cure. Trades well against the Lings. Bailings do go down. Can we get a queen? Oh, he wants one. He does get one queen. Barely not getting a second. As Cure does pull back. But again, that was a very scary moment. Again, if Solar didn't manage to get damage done across the map, if he didn't go for the Ling run by, then Solar may have died then and there. Like, it may have just been too much. Very nice trades here on the Bailings. We do dive into the mineral line. We go for the drones. The drone's going to be going down. The base does survive though. Secure just keeping the pressure up. He's still in the driver's seat. Very nice kiting here from Cure. Good target firing as well. On those Bailings coming from left hand side, engaging with the Ling Bane. Yeah, very nice positioning in this base. It's gonna go down. There's no saving it. Solo knocked down to 4 bases. Lings from behind. We're off of creep though. We do bring down the tank, but a rough trade there for Solar. Does bleed out a lot of Ling Bane. 2-2's on the way. Cure behind this is getting us up to a 4-base economy. 4 CCs on the way. Second factory. Gases are being taken. 2-2. Oof. Cure does take a bit of a rough fight here towards the left. Ling Bane is a bit out of position, but we have plenty here to defend. Yeah, so he should be able to hold on. Oof. Mine shots go up. Drop into the main base. Is going to be able to get a bit out of hand. A bit out of hand as we do have plenty of reinforcements coming in. Solar, he's holding, but he needs a 5th. That's the thing here. Solar, he needs a 5th base. As he still doesn't have an ideal economy. As 5 more drones go down, and this pressure from Cure, it's pulling Solar apart. Like, he's starting to pull away at the seams. Solar now getting into Hive Tech. Ultra Caverns on the way. Vipers, Adrenal. But Solar, he needs time right now. He needs Cure to back up. he needs some room to breathe. As Solar drones up to 80. Barely getting his 5th up and running. With this pressure from Cure, it's becoming a bit much. Oh, big mine shots. Big mine shots on those Lings. On the Bailings as well. And Cure, he's maxed out at this point. He has hit 200 supply. And Solar, he's just being left behind. Just being left in the dust at this point. And even with the Ultras in production, remember, they don't have kindness plating. Cure, he should have enough to break through. As once again, he pushes towards that 5th. Ooh, oh my god! The mine shot! The massive connection on the Ling Bane. The 5th base is going to be going down once again. And the Widow Mines, they are setting up. Ooh, they did go down to the Bailings. Rough trade there with the mines. But overall, Cure, he's still breaking through. Still pulling Solar apart. Ultra has arrived. Again, no kindness plating. Has +2 armor. It's a 2-2 Ultra. Now, against pure Marine like this, Ultras can still trade fairly well. They can be okay. Oof. Not quite. As the Mass Marine, we bring down the Ultra. Doesn't even matter. The Vipers, they get caught out as well. 1, 2 Vipers go down. GG gets called. Solar gets pulled apart. And Cure takes a further lead in this series. Is on match point. Uno más. One more is all that Cure needs. One more game here. And once again, this 2x Reaper build from Cure, I mean, it's just getting so much damage done every single time. We're not just denying the third. That's the purpose here, is to deny the third base. But every single time he's going for it, he's been killing drones. He's been killing workers left and right, catching Solar off guard, and just really gaining quite a lead early on. Oh, we've had some, again, really shaky starts for Solar. Cure, it isn't just the initial Reaper opener, of course, but like the follow-up Hellion dive. Remember, the Hellions this game killed so many workers, and they were preserved as well. Hellions, they did so much, killed so many workers. We backed off, led into the eventual stim timing, the eventual drop play, and Solar's just been on the back foot in a lot of these games. We need to fight back. We need to tighten things up here. We know that Solar has it in him. We know he can do it. He needs to do it here and now, though. Here and now. I want to say it was the group stage. Was it? Yeah, it was the group stage. Fun fact, like, Solar, it was a couple of days ago. It wasn't even that long. It was a couple of days ago, round 5. Like 2 days ago, we casted Solar versus Clem. Solar versus Clem on the 22nd. 3 days ago at this point. 2 days ago. And Solar, he looked dominant. He looked so crisp, so informed. Do you remember those games? It was on Alcyone. Specifically on Alcyone, he looked so good against Clem. Clem was going for like tri-pronged attacks. He was dropping all over the place, and Solar was keeping up. To be fair, Solar also had stronger starts. He had much more comfortable early games against Clem. He's not getting comfortable early games here against Cure, and maybe that's a part of it. Maybe, again, because of these shaky stars, like Solar, he just hasn't been able to get into the swing of things, hasn't been able to get into his game. It does, for a lot of these games, it does feel like he has just been one step behind as the game progresses. Something that he didn't have to worry about against Clem, which is why he 2-0'd Clem a couple of days ago. But here against Cure, Solar, he's struggling. But can we bring it back? I believe we can. I believe we can. We just need to get that coffee inside us, Papi. Get things going. Tighten things up. It all comes down to side Delta. Cure needs one more win, and Cure will advance on into the next round. One more loss, and Solar is eliminated from the tournament. And here we go in the top left-hand corner. We have Cure for Team Liquid. And in the bottom right, we have his opponent. We have for onside, Solar. Here we go. And yep, no surprise. Once again, 2-Rax Reaper. Here we go. 2-Rax Reaper out of Cure. I mean, he's been very successful with these early game Reapers. He's been doing a lot, gaining a lot of value out of them. So no reason to really divert from what's been working. As interesting. Never mind. Wait. CC first? No shot! He's going, he's crazy! He's, Papi, the greed. Cure going CC first here against Solar. Very greedy build, very economic, and he should be able to get away with it. Solar's going for a hatch gas pool. And again, I do really like CC first against Solar, whether it's on this map, whether it's on, we speak about this all the time, on Alcyone as well. On Alcyone, Solar, unlike Shin, unlike Dark, unlike some of these other Korean Zerg players, Solar isn't really too aggressive in the early game. He doesn't go for like roach rushes, he doesn't go for early gases. He isn't really one to be hyper aggressive early on, so you can get away with this kind of stuff, specifically against Solar. You can get away with it, and we'll see if Cure does. See in the chat, CC for so based. It can be risky against other players. Like I always hold my breath for players that go CC first against Dark, for example. Like you're crazy. But here against Solar, again, I do like it. I do like it a lot. As the Overlord comes in, and Solar now knows. He now knows what's been going on. He's aware of the opener. He's aware of the CC first. Immediately going for a third base. Now, there's a bit of a give and take. Okay. On the one hand, Cure is being hyper greedy. He's going for a third CC before factory. No shot. You can see the production tab. There it is. Third CC before factory. This is hyper greedy here. I don't know if I like this. On a map like Side Delta, we do have a ramp leading into natural. It's very defendable, but we're just doubling down here, being hyper greedy. And again, if Solar doesn't recognize this, if he doesn't punish this, then Cure, he's going to snowball out of control in the mid game. The mid game is going to be so insane for Cure if he's able to get away with this, and we'll see what Solar can do. But now, I was going to say, on the flip side of things, it isn't 2x Reaper, which means for the first time in a couple of games, ever since Equilibrium, Solar has a comfortable start. Solar, he can freely get his third base on time. He can drone. He's throwing down a let's go. He's throwing down a Roach Warren as well. Solar, he is aware of the CC first. He hasn't seen the fast third CC, but he will soon find out with his Overlord. Overlord, it goes into the main base, does get eyes on the third CC. He's aware of how greedy Cure has been, and going for a Roach Rush here, I think, is very smart. I think it's a good way to punish Cure. Can we pull this off? Can Cure scout as he's moving out with this Reaper? Link speed finishing up in 5 seconds. Reaper does get eyes on the third base, lack of saturation, but it's still early on, not the biggest of scouts. We are droning, as we are actually cutting workers here. Lings are amassing 4 Overlords on the way. Cure, can he piece this together? He's going double evade! No shot, he's going for double evades here behind this as well. Taking up, working on upgrades, and Solar hasn't made a drone in quite some time. He's cutting workers at 36. This isn't all in. Solar, he's going all in, going across the map. He sees the wall, sees how vulnerable the production is, how little there is to defend. There's 2 Hellions and 1 Slackloon to defend. Solar, he should be able to punish this. It's going to be a miracle if Cure can defend, because he still has not pieced this together. Otherwise, we would see bunkers. Unless we see bunkers, we'd see a prioritization of tank production. Not this. Not Hellion Cyclone. I mean, the Hellions can do well here. We are still massing Lings. We're bypassing the army. This can get awkward, actually, because both armies are missing each other. Curie could dive into the natural. Even if he does, though, I don't know if he has enough. And regardless, we're going to bust through. Yeah, we're going to 100%. We're busting through into the natural base of Cure. Cure has nothing to defend. He scans, and now he realizes what's been going on. The jig is up. The wall going to be knocked down here. A bar's going to be connecting. The boys are being pulled. We have to repair. That wall is standing strong, though. We have to break in. And the Hellions, they come in from behind. Big volleys up on those Lings. Not a bad trade. The wall is holding. No shot. The wall is still holding. How are we not breaking in? There we go. Finally, it's going to be going down. Finally, we do break through. But we're running out of Lings. Here we go. As they finally do make their way towards the natural base. Good hold position micro, though. Cure the Biles. Oh, the Biles, they will connect. 18 SCVs go down, and we break in nonetheless. GG gets called. Cure was doing his best to hold on, but it was just too much, and Solar punishes the greed of Cure. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A big shout out to Thriving GG in the chat, Papi. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Welcome to a best of 7 here in Masters Coliseum. This is an elimination match. This is the elimination match, and Cure is 1 game away. He's 1 game away from eliminating Solar from the tournament. Solar has to fight back Cure now, and he does. To wind it back, if you missed it, Cure went CC first, into a 3rd CC before Factory, into double evades before Starport. He was hyper greedy that game, insanely greedy, and Solar, upon seeing it, bam, Roach Rush. Went for a Roach Rush, went for a Ravager Ling Flood, did bust in, and did punish Cure. So, winding it back, I was okay with the CC first, but Cure ramped it up to 11. Like that was for the faster 3rd, for the double evades behind it as well. He barely had anything to work with. Like that was just hyper greed out of Cure. Just a little bit too confident there. Just a little bit overconfident from Cure. Calm things down, Papi, as we're getting into our next game. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Cure for Team Liquid. And in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have, for onside, Solar. Ooh. And I'm just happy we get some more games. Just happy we do get some more games here. Here we go. I hate that build so much. Even the Terrans turning against him. Let's go. But yeah, hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great stream, Pappy. Hope you had a great ladder session. Welcome, welcome. For those that are just tuning in now, as we're getting to our hatch gas pool opener, and Cure is not going double eBay. Sorry, of course not going double eBay. Not going double racks. Not going for a 2 racks Reaper. But this is our final match of the night. It is only 2 best of 7s. Only 2 best of 7s here in tonight's broadcast. These are both elimination matches. Tomorrow we have another 2 best of 7s as well. Again, Mass Coliseum going to be taking place every day here of the week, all the way until the finals on Sunday. Every single day, so plenty of content coming at you. I mean, we would have been live anyway. Would have been live with plenty of content regardless, but yeah. Plenty of StarCraft. Oh. As I believe tomorrow is going to be Maru versus Serral and Raynor versus Hero. Oh boy. Those are going to be the upper bracket matches. So mark your calendars for that. It's going to be beautiful. Tomorrow best of 5? Yes. Tomorrow's best of 5. Yes. Sorry if I misspoke. Only the elimination matches are best of 7s. The upper bracket is best of 5, at least for the time being. Yo, the finals is a best of 9, Poppy. Oh my god, crazy. We're never really going to see best of 9s too often. Behind this, Akira going for a Rax Expand. And this is what I was trying to get into when I was talking about Side Delta, where every game that Kira has won so far has been off of 2x Reaper. Here he's going for a much more standard opener, which means Solar can expand more freely. He can take his third base without too much issue, and Solar can have a much more comfortable early game compared to what we've seen before, where Solar has been struggling. Here we go. Drone gonna be moving out. Gonna attempt to take a third. It is gonna be delayed a little bit longer here by the SV and by the Reaper. So Kira just being a bit of a nuisance here, delaying for as long as he can. Getting some extra hits in. Oh my god. So Kira does barely slip away. Oh, the Reaper does barely slip away. And behind this, Kira is going 3cc before starport. So a very economic opener here at a Cure. Very economic. Does delay the third base by a couple of extra seconds. Ooh, it even gets a kill on the reaction. That should not have happened. Overlord goes down. Solar is supply blocked. We had a big reaction there on cams. Not happy about that. Again, the pressure is on. Solar can't make any more mistakes here. One more loss, and he's out of the tournament. As behind this, we're going for an add-on top for the first time. 3cc Banshee. Let's go. Banshee production on the way. For the first time in this best of 7. I always find that Chinese hosted events love playing the maximum maps in every esport. I mean, I'm fond of it because we don't get a lot of best of 9s, to be honest. Like, best of 9s, even in like IM TvZ, even in these like DreamHacks and Premier events, the finals are best of 7s. So, I appreciate it. I appreciate it because we don't really get it too often. As the Reapers and Hellions, they get behind the middle line, they do focus on 3 drones. Oh my god, for 2 Hellions? 3 drones for 2 Hellions, well worth it here as, we had a bit of a misrally, miscontrol there. The Reaper was left behind. Hello? A bit of a visual bug there as the Queen and the Reaper did get onto the pillar somehow. It's fine, don't worry about it. As intended. It's a bug on the ladder map, on the LE version. Lovely. I believe it's fixed on the ESL version of the maps, which is what's used for IEM and DreamHack. But it's not fixed on the ladder edition, unfortunately, which is what we're playing on. Behind this, though, we do have, again, Cloak Banshees on the way. First one heading towards the main base of Solar. Sports finishing up just in time to defend, and Solar should be able to deflect this without too much issue. Banshee dips in and gets 1 drone before dipping out. Behind this, we do have a Solar working towards his lair. Bailey Nest as well. A much more safer opener, actually, out of Solar, where he goes for a faster lair and Bailey Nest. He delays his 1-1 upgrades here in favor of Tech. So very safe follow-up out of Solar. Not being as greedy as he otherwise could have been, and otherwise has been so far in this series. Of course, the Queen takes a lot of damage. Well, these two Banshees getting a lot done. 7 drones go down. This should not have happened. 7 workers and both Banshees survive, which means they can come back in and they can get even more damage done. Again, Solar out of position with those Queens. Was caught off guard. And a very nice start here from Cure. And again, this is what Solar's been trying to avoid. Like, he went for a safe opener as well. Like, he wants a solid early game. He just can't get it. Just can't get it. It's these 7 worker kills plus the Hellion damage that was done earlier. Solo taking the 4th base as the linear 4th. A little bit more exposed here on the low ground. We'll see if he can hold on to it. Behind this, Cure getting his own 4th CC up and running as well. Outside the natural. Yeah, Spore isn't done. We get another drone. It's going to be 7 worker kills so far. We get eyes on the 4th. Immediately, the Hellions are moving out. The Hellions, their eyes are on that 4th base. They're on that middle line. He wants those drones. Banshee's going to be tagging out with the Hellions. Ooh, the Hellions going to be joined by a double drop as well. Stim is done, by the way. Not yet combat shields, but at least Stim. So we have a 16 Marine drop alongside those Hellions. We are going to be pushing in. Again, behind this, Cure working towards his 4th base, working towards 1-1. Oh, that is a lot of Ling Bane, though. A lot of Ling Bane in position. Cure, he respects it. He backs off. He's just clearing up creep. Maintaining map control. Oh my god, good target. Very nice target firing there out of Cure. Very risky as well. Playing with fire. But he doesn't get burned. Not yet. Trades well with the Ling Bane. Takes down some of these tumors. Hellbats are morphed in. And the 4th base is being taken on location. What's scary here is that Cure, he's keeping up with the economy. He's down, what, 8 workers? But plus mules, like Cure, he's looking pretty damn good. Pretty damn strong. His economy is booming. Meanwhile, behind the Solo going into Ling Bane Hydra. Hydra production has commenced. We dive on top of the Queens. Queens will survive. Queens, they barely will survive. Banshees, they come in again. They're still not done. They're not satisfied. They want more damage. They want to trade more here against those drones. But it looks like finally 1 Banshee goes down. You're going to be reinforcing with his Marines. Banshees roll in. Ooh, but if friendly fire, the drag was brutal on those Marines. But regardless, they do survive. We do shut down a lot of those Banelings. But Solar, he's holding. He is holding on. Ling Bane rolling on forward here. We are happy to trade outs with those Hellbats. Oh, a lot of the Banelings go down. Yeah, Cure coming ahead in that trade. Cleans up the Banelings, deals with the Lings, reinforces, and he's going to keep on pushing, going for a split push. We have the army towards the south. We have the double drop towards the north. Spores are in position. We'll see if Cure can bust in anyway. We have a lot of Banelings. We do avoid the mine for now. There are 2 winter mines behind this. Mine shell's not quite going off, not yet. And a good trade to Cure as the Banelings, they roll in. Oof. Decent mine connections, but we're forced to pick up. Forced to get the hell out of there. And again, Solar, he's slowly maxing out Hive in production. Working towards, there it is, Lurker Den. Lurkers are on the way. Can we survive long enough to get into that? The mines! Oh my god. No big connections on this time. But again, if we're able to get into Lurkers, we can slow the game down. We can stabilize. Solar, he's so close. As Cure is still applying a lot of pressure. Again, just making sure that there is 0 creep out on the map. Making sure that Solar, he's really only connecting his bases. Hive is done. Marines pushing forward. Mine shots once again being baited out. Major connections with those mines. Good target firing here on the Bailings. And we just take a good trade. We take a good trade here. On the right-hand side, oh, Cure, he is forced back. But towards the left, he's breaking through. It breaks through the Bailings, breaks through the Hydras, and this hatchery may go down. We can go for the hatchery or for the drones. We're trading with the Hydras here. How good are the mine shots going to be? They're okay. 6 drones go down. We do cripple the economy. I say cripple. Cripple the base's economy. As Cure has a comparable worker count here. Is being forced back, but is denying that 5th. 6th even. Is denying the 6th base. He wants the drone. Oh, he gets it. Does get the worker. Before lifting off. And what I appreciate here, even though Cure, I believe he hasn't seen the Lurker Den, we have the Ghost Academy. Ghost Academies are on the way. Ghost Academy is on the way. Ooh, full medevac goes down. Good catch there from Solar, but we are working towards Ghosts. We should be working towards the Liberators soon thereafter. To help with those Lurkers. Then Lurker upgrades on the way. Cure is still trading very well though. And you can see that reflected in the overall banks. But Cure, he has more to work with. It has been more efficient. Bailings are being cleaned up. But there's just not enough on the ground. As we catch the Queens. Big pickoff. 1, 2, 3 Queens gonna go down. We could even get a 4th. Yeah, we will. The 4th Queen falls. We were already struggling when it comes to creep, and now we'll struggle even more. As Solar falling apart at the seams a little bit here. Cure just once again keeping that pressure up. Is going to trade well here, especially off of creep. And kiting his heart out. Will be forced back. I believe we saw a couple of Lurkers in production. Like the Lunkers. They're on the way. We still don't have our Ghosts. 5th base on the way here for Cure as well. Again on an even base count. Solo just now getting his 6th. Yeah, and there it is. Fusion Core on the way for Liberators. We make our way to the mineral line. The Lurkers have been revealed. The Lurkers, they have arrived, and with that we can hold on. We're surviving. We're also going for the Nidus so we can counterattack, try to get into the main, or get across the map. Now, thankfully for Cure, again, he was already working on additional starports and the Fusion Core. That's going to be for Liberator range and for just the freedom. The freedom! The Liberators. So Cure, he's, I would say, not one step ahead, but keeping up when it comes to tech. Keeping up with the Zerg. And there aren't that many Lurkers either. Not yet. And good kiting here out of Cure. Bailings will be forcing him back. Base has been spotted. And we'll have to pick up and get the hell out of here. The power bomb! Good power bomb on the medevacs. Good splits though, just in time. Oh, but there's going to be a lot of supply going down, and Solar, he's counterattacking, going for a big push here towards the 3rd base of Cure. Cure, can we hold? For the first time this game, Solar, he's attacking across the map, but he is going to be deflected. He's being forced back, and Cure looks like he wants to try to cut this off. Gets a bunch of changelings. Solar, a lot of his supply is towards the top right. Does he have enough to defend against this drop play, though? Yeah, that's where the Lurkers come in. The Lunkers, they're in position. Nidus Worm into the main base as well. Cure, does he notice? He's being distracted by the main army. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's attention catch here back at home with the main army. We roll it in. We deny that 3rd base. Nidus does finish. The Lurkers, they do burrow, but is this a wise choice, though? We have Ghosts. And the Lurkers are being sniped. They're being shut down. More Lurkers coming in. Up! The spines! Oh my god, we're getting the Ghosts! A bit of a dance here between the Lurkers and Ghosts. Coal base on the way. Here we go. Liberation has arrived. The Lurkers are forced back. Meanwhile, the planetary is going to be going down as well. It's on its own. There's no support. There's no repairs. It will go down. And again, suddenly, now that we've had a bit of momentum, Solar is building up a bank. Now that we haven't been trading, he's building up his bank here. Solar, he's recovering. It's looking good. Drop is going to take down a base, but Solar, you can afford to lose a hatchery. Can't afford to lose bases. The pressure now suddenly is on Cure. Oh, as he's going to have to take things slow. A lot of mining being denied. We catch some lurkers. Good pickups here by Cure. But again, he's most likely going to have to just turtle up. Transition not just into Ghost Lib, but also into tank production. Oh, as he is being caught out. Big blinding clouds. The Banelings roll in. We zone away the army with a planetary stand strong. Not a bad fight for Cure. But again, earlier Cure, he was the one attacking. He was the one just keeping the pressure on Solar. And now suddenly the momentum has swung in the other direction. And Cure has to turtle. You see he's just walling up, throwing down sensor towers, missile turrets. The dynamic shifting quite a bit. And this is the moment that Solar needs to start expanding everywhere. Just mass expand. Take bottom left, take top right. Take up, even take up into like a Spire and an Ultra Cavern, just to make sure he has everything he needs. Big Snipe's going to be going up. Ling Bane rolls in and Cure being spread thin. This is also why we need like more siege units, like tanks and libs to defend both locations at once. Sticking with a bio army like this, it's risky. It is mobile. It is risky here. That's where I'm going to be finishing. Solar focusing here on his push. Does deny the base. Cure out of position. As we actually catch some of the ghosts. Yeah, the ghosts get caught out. The planetary goes down as well. Cure is stuck between his bases, being pulled left and right. Solar finally in control here. Again, he just had to stabilize. He just had to get into a longer game. Had to make sure Cure backed the hell off. And now Solar in a position to force an ace match. He has a bank. Cure doesn't. And all has to do here is deny the bases. Whether it's top right or bottom left. Just deny these bases of Cure as he is stuck back at home. There's that Spire on the way. I appreciate that, again, Solar, he's taking up even further just to make sure he has his bases covered. Banelings getting caught out. Good catches here from Cure. Very nice catch. And Nuke gonna be on the way. I mean, there's a world where if it connects, then maybe. At the same time, a drop on the right-hand side, distracting Solar, getting a lot of drones. Oh my god, 13 workers go down. The Nuke will connect. Not with the base, not with the workers. But Cure, he is making some magic happen here, crippling the economy of Solar. 13 workers. I mean, Solar, he still has a bank, so he can afford to lose a base. He can afford to lose a mineral line. But can't lose too much, though. Decent Baneling connections. Cure overextending a little bit with this drop, but does get shut down. A lot of medevacs fall. Solar edging his way forward. Now, to be fair, this isn't the most important mining base, but it does grant you access to top right. That's the important part about this. Is that Cure ideally wants to expand in that direction. Yeah, Lib's gonna be yoinked over. Ling's rolling on forward. Banelings are going straight for the planetary. Planetary does hold. Decent fight for Cure. Again, Cure can bounce back here. Snipes going off. Ling Bane being forced back. Solar still has 4k gas in the Jesus. You can still afford this. It's okay. You can still throw away units. For now. as both players have maxed out. Again, this is the win condition for Cure for the time being, is to like absorb these attacks, to kind of absorb the Lingbane, trade well, and then if Solar trades a little bit too poorly, then we can counterattack. If he throws away too much. Speaking of Cure, attempting to double expand. Liberators slowly pushing forward. As Cure is expanding, he's spreading himself thin. Creating more opportunities here for Solar. Yeah, this big spine shot's gonna be going off. Oh my god. As Cure rallies into the lurkers. A lot of them gonna be going down. Meanwhile, towards the left. Cure taking some banelings to the face. We can see Solar just encroaching upon the bases here, upon the production of Cure. This Liberator, they're getting a lot. 15 drones, Jesus. Oh my god. The libs. Bottom left and top right. 15 workers go down. Cure fighting back. Big snipes here on the detection. But we still have one overseer left. We collapse on the army. We catch all that 3-4 ghosts. Again, these have been some good moments from Cure. Does feel a little bit too little too late. Solar still sticking with Lingbane Hydra. Thankfully, he is working on +2 air attack, so he's working on potentially Corruptors and Broodlords. Oh. Some lurkers get picked off. Cure fighting his heart out right now. Trying to trade. Good abductions here on those libs. Did he get 2? 2 Liberators go down. The Marines are forced to push forward. Solar's still mining happily from that gold base. And Cure can't max out. Doesn't have the money for it. Running out of minerals, running out of gas. Here we go. How good is the fight going to be? We've even forced some friendly fire. Yeah, and Solar trying to collapse, coming in from behind as well, forcing some more mine shots on the Marines. Oh my god! The friendly fire is real. We roll on forward, we clean up the army, and again, Solar, he can just keep remaxing, he can keep going all day. Cure, out of minerals. Out of time. Massive mule hammer here on the CC. Getting whatever he can out of that base. As much as he can. As again, Cure, he knows he's been so close. You can see him a little bit of frustration on the cameras there. Cure, he knows that he's been so close for these past 2 games. But alas, it looks like we will be going to Game 7 all the way the distance, Papi. We're pulling the boys. Into the lurkers. Not like this. Lurker going to be going down. Solar taking one of the bases that should have been Cure's. As Cure can still try to take a fight here. Definitely can. Solar collapsing in this position. Decent EMP. EMP on the Vipers, on the Infestors. Yeah, we're going for the dive. Mine shot's gonna be going off. Good EMP on the Infestors once again, but we land a fungal. We land a power bomb. The blinding clouds as well. 18, 20 SCVs go down, and Solar has finally done it. He catches the main army. GG gets called. And Solar will tie us up 3-3. We are going to the ace match. GG, well played. Whew. We're going all the way to game number 7. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. And again, we have seen quite a trend so far when it comes to the games that have been going either direction here. If Solar is able to get into a standard game, into a solid early to mid game, remember, this game was when Cure went for a Rax expand into 3cc, 3cc Banshee, right? 3cc Banshee, like the most standard of games you can go for. And Solar was so comfortable, able to get into his hatch gas pool, able to get into a solid 3-4 base economy. He was struggling a little bit to keep up with the drop play, but eventually he stabilized. Eventually he was able to hold on and get into lurkers, and from that moment, he was able to swing things in his favor. Very similar thing happened on Equilibrium, if you remember. Very similar thing happened on Equilibrium, where Solar was able to get into a solid economy and get into lurker tech, get into hive tech, and take control of the game. So very similar kind of scenarios in both those games. Side Delta was different. Side Delta was Cure being too overconfident, and he may be regretting his choices on Side Delta for the greed that he went for. And now everything comes down to Alcyone, the final game of the series. Here we go. A pretty good map for 2-Axe Reaper, which I feel like we should probably fall back on. Cure looking a little bit stressed out there, not gonna lie. It all comes down to this, the final game. One of the larger maps in the map pool. The only one larger is Radisson Station, but that's not a real map. That's we don't have to talk about Radisson Station. It's fine. It's fine. But Alcyone, known for its long games, known for its macro play. This is where Solar was able to look dominant against Clem a couple of days ago. And here we go. We are diving on in and spawning in the top right hand corner. We have Cure for Team Liquid. And in the bottom left, we have his opponent. We have Solar for Onside. Here we go. Catching up in the chat. I see some people being clowns in the chat. Again, respect our players. Respect the players. Shaking my head. Not just the players, the casters, community figures, all the people out there as we're easing ourselves into this, and let's go. It is going to be the 2-Axe Reaper from Cure. As to be expected, Solo going for a 15-15, 15 hatch into a 15 spawning pool. Let's go. We have our openers. But what about the execution? Now, I'm hoping that Solo's feeling better here. Remember, every game that we've casted so far where Cure has gone 2-Axe Reaper, he has killed drones. He has not just denied bases, but he's killed workers. He's traded well against the Lings. He has achieved so much in the early game. Will that continue to be the trend? Will that continue to be the case? We're here to find out. Respect yourself. Exactly, exactly. Cure has won every game he made. Sigh, clowns. Oh. True. True, Papi. We haven't seen mech yet, thankfully. No mech. As here we go. Reapers are going to be on the way. Likewise, Solo getting into his own opener. As a reminder, because of the 15-15, this means that later Ling speed. It means he's going to be able to deal with these Reapers a little bit later as well. They have more of a presence on the map. They have more longevity here. So we'll see what we can get done. Solo going to be hiding his drone. I imagine going to be mining through those minerals and hiding on the other side of the wall. So his drone is going to try to stay hidden against these Reapers. Yeah, oh my god. We're not even hiding the drone at the 4th base. We're hiding it at the 5th base location. Crazy. Reaper dips in, forces a spore, doesn't get a drone kill, thankfully. Now, if you remember, if you weren't here earlier, when Solar has been trying to hide his drone at the 4th base, and he keeps dying. he keeps finding the drone and he keeps killing it. So it makes sense to go a little bit further out and hide it at the 5th base instead. Oh, another drone almost gets picked up, but we do save it just in time. Clutch Evo wall there from Solar. We see the minerals. He's looking. He checks the 4th. Does check. It's not here. Where is it? He's going up. He doesn't check the 5th. He comes back. Solar, he keeps his drone alive for the first time this series. Let's go. The drone lives. Again, you can't hide it at the 4th. You have to hide it at the 6th base spot. Just keep going. Oh no, he's coming back. He's coming back. No, he's looking. Is he gonna check? He is. No shot. Never lucky. Oh, he doesn't go all the way. He doesn't go all the way. He's checking the gold. Yeah, he's looking. Where is that drone? What happened? Where'd it go? There we go. We do have our third base being taken. Fun fact, the third is taken, and it wasn't even that drone that hit, that made the third. Is going to be hiding there. And again, does force Cure to check in that area. Does allow that third base to get up and running. And from here, we're getting into our follow-up. And this time, Cure wasn't able to deal too much. Remember, historically, we've been getting like plenty of worker damage done early on. This time, Cure, he did delay the third base for a bit. Not gonna lie, he forced out a Spore, forced out an Evo Chamber, but no kills. So Solar, he's had a much stronger start this time than he has in the past. As he's working up towards his 3-base saturation. Behind this, we do see Cure going for a 3cc 2-1-1. Gonna be skipping his Viking, going for a Liberator first. So Hellion Lib on the way for Cure. Ooh, meanwhile, very safe follow-up out of Solar, going for a faster Lair, going for a faster Baneling Nest. That's another thing to bear in mind, is that some of these games where Solar has been rushing into fast Evo Chambers, he's been punished for it as well. So he's going to be delaying his Evo Chambers in favor of Banelings and Baneling Speed, just to keep himself safe and secure against Cure. And so we are going to be settling on into this. They don't show the pick order. I would assume that whoever picked Equilibrium was Solar, so you can like deduce from there. What map was Equilibrium? That'll let us know who's A and who's B. Equilibrium was second, so Solar's B. So odd maps were Cure, even maps were Solar. Just as a heads up. As Liberator does slip into the main. Likewise, we're able to keep up. Spore does rotate over. And Cure going for his own double drop on the right-hand side. Do I think Solo would have picked hard lead? Sure, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, maybe it was AB. What's sorry? AABB. As the double jump does come in. Oh! Double jump does come in, and it looks like we forced a kill. No, that was a kill, not a cancel. At the same time, the Hellions, they bust into the natural base as well. Drones are going to get roasted. And just like that, at the drop of a dime, Solar, he's being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart here. Does clean up the Hellions. Only 3 drones go down. That could have been so much worse. But the double jump, it's not done. We get into the main base. We're going for some more worker damage. Liberator coming in from behind. We get 5 drones. We get 6. We get 7. 7 workers go down. And can we force another cancel? Can we force another kill? The queens are off of creep. 2 queens go down. This is snowballing out of control. This is far too much damage. 2 queens, a base, 7 workers. And the medevac survive as they come back in. We're getting a little bit greedy here. The medevac getting very low. He wants it. He's going to get it. The medevac goes down. But we get the queen. It may be worth it anyway. It's going to be a one-way trip. There's no way home. Oh my god. The Marines barely saved. But Cure, he gains so much momentum from that, causing so much chaos. And that was merely the harassing force, because here comes the main army. Here come the tanks. Here come the Marines. Here comes Cure. And Solar, he's still trying to stabilize here. Rebuilding his queens. Still trying to get his 4th base. I'm running for lava. Solar in a lot of trouble. Now, how does Cure push? Looks like he wants to push towards the 4th base on the right-hand side. Eventually working through these rocks. And reinforcements on the way. We're going to have 3 tanks with this army. 3 tanks, the Massive Man Marines, Stim, Combat Shields, 1-1. Armory still on the way. 2-2 is going to be a little bit delayed here for Cure. But regardless, this push is still going to be insane. And how well can he trade? Again, there's potential here that he can break the base itself. Hydras are trickling in. Tanks are sieging. As we are slowly leapfrogging forward towards the 4th base, getting within range as well. Good tank always going off in the mineral line. Baneling's going to be going down as well. Now, it is quite awkward to reinforce this army, so what you see is what you get. Killer reinforcements backing up back at home. Interesting, going for a double drop towards the left-hand side instead. Going for the 5th. It's going for the 5th base. Just trading with the main army, keeping the attention towards the south here of Solar. Solar, though, he does have enough. Yeah, he can collapse on this. He can collapse. Just trying to get a good angle. Coming in from behind. Yeah, we will be able to get us around here. These tanks, they should be cleaned up. At the same time, though, we come in from behind. We go for the 5th base. Tanks will go down. But that's going to be a kill on this hatchery. That's going to be 300 more minerals down the drain. We get the base. We get a couple of workers and an overlord. So damage is still done. Oh, we're rushing into lurkers, by the way. Very fast lurker den from here from Solar. I see supply blocked. I do appreciate this, though. Again, a lot of these longer games that Solar has won has been off of the back of getting into lurkers and stabilizing. Like, lurkers have allowed Solar to force back the multi-pronged aggression and to slow the game down. Can he pull this off, though? These are going to be lair tech lungers. I mean, the hive is on the way, to be fair. It is in production. Lurker den on the horizon as well. That's Curious trying to keep the pressure on, keep the pressure up. Here we go. We do push on the right-hand side. The tumor is going to be cleaned up. We have links to engage, but that's a lot of Widow Lions. And Curious maxed out. He's maxed out. He's at 200 supply. He has momentum. Vipers are on the way. Up, up. How good are the mine shots? Doesn't go off. Does not connect. Solar has split up his army. He's in position. Not a lot of banelings, though. A lot of banelings here for Solar towards the north, towards that 5th base. Banelings are rolling in. Good connections here. Good target firing on the banelings. Additional banelings have arrived. Solar rotating over. Good mine shot on some of the banelings, but we will force this back. Solar, he holds on to the 5th. Can he hold on to his 4th? Oh, he's chasing down the medevacs. Oh, God. Does pull back. Oh, no. SC boy. Not like that. It's the ace smash, Poppy. No shot. No shot. Am I here? I'm still here. Now is not the time to lag out. No, they want offline. No. Clean feed offline. Oh, not like this. Not like this. Hold on, I'm going to be switching out. The clean feed has gone offline. Oh, both clean feeds have. No! For those that are curious, whether it's ourselves, Rotterdam, Wardy, none of us are in game. None of us are in game. We are all casting from a clean feed provided by the organizers, by the Chinese casters, and by SE Boy. And yeah, everyone. No, I can see everyone. I can see Funka in the chat. I can see Rotterdam. Everyone's freaking out. Everyone's freaking out right now. This is not the time. The game could end. Not like this. That's so unfortunate. That's so it doesn't happen too often. For those that are curious, so the organizers of this event, the organizers of Master Coliseum, they are based in China, and they do use a VPN to actually send us the clean feed, because like they can't really connect to us. They can't really connect to Twitch or YouTube or anything outside without it. So they do use VPNs, and sometimes it's unstable. Sometimes the connection to us, the clean feed connection, can be unstable at times. And yeah, it's offline, and we can't see what's happening. No shot. It's such an important game. It all comes down to this. What I will say though, we may go. What I will say is that if this game ends without the stream coming back, if this happens, it's happened before, the organizers will give us replays. They will, though they have given us the replay before, so we can finish up this game. So I'm hoping that if that happens, they can maybe send us the replays, and we can go over this, because we need to know. Like Kira, he's in the middle of popping off, but at the same time, Solo's also getting into lurker production, and if he gets enough lurkers out, he can stabilize, he can get his 5th base up and running. His 5th base is still not quite up though, towards the top left. Like, he needs a little bit more time. He's getting into hive tech, and we're back. The stream is back. What the hell's been happening? We suddenly jump forward here. The 5th base is up and running. We have a 6th, we have a 7th base on the way. Lunkers, they get into the main. So Solar, he did survive the aggression. He did survive the drop play here of Cure. And we have jumped forward like a good 5 minutes. Bailing's going to be rolling in. They do crash in. They do get into the goal base, which apparently has been taken, and the planetary, it may barely go down. Nidus in the main base. Mass Lurker came to the production. The planetary falls. And we don't know what happened, but Solar, he came back. He's got his lunkers. He's getting damage on. Oh my god, the spine shots. Spine's going well here, but the ghosts, they have arrived. We will shut down these Nidus worms. And once these Nidus worms get cleaned up, we need to take a moment to try to get a read on what's been happening. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're on 5 bases. We were on 6 base for Cure, but he did just lose the gold. And oh, this 6th base is going to be denied as well. So Solar, he has momentum. He did just bring down 17 SCVs. Solar, he has the economic advantage. Likewise, he's on Ling Bane, Hydra, Lurker, Viper. And we do see a transition to Liberators on the way. Cure is trying to transition to Liberators, but he needs an economy. He needs another base. He needs that gold. Speaking of, he tries to take it, but we are in position to deny it. At the same time, more Nidus worms into the main base, but we are in position. We have Libs and Ghosts, but we're focusing on the main push. We're focusing on the main fight here as Solar, he rolls on in. The main base is being defended, but we roll in past the army into the bases, denying the gold once again, and that's the win condition. The win condition here for Solar is to deny the gold base over and over again, as often as he can. Again, a lot of these Ghosts and Libs are tied up in the main. 14 more SCVs go down, and Cure, he's on the back foot. The power of the Lunker, papi. Again, Cure, he's building up a good army, don't get me wrong, but he needs another base. He needs that gold. Otherwise, he will be outscaled. Likewise, he needs to rebuild his worker count. He's down to 47 workers. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Solar, he's happily mining from, what, 3, 6, 8. 8 bases here, plus the gold. Happily mining. Doesn't have amazing creep spread, but he's connecting the bases. The bases are connected for Solar. He's defending, he's attacking, he has control of the map overall. And Cure, he needs to turtle for a moment here. He needs to turtle up until he gets his bases back up and running, and then he can be aggressive. So Cure is going to be stuck on the back foot. Bailey's rolling in. Ooh, they don't quite connect. Don't quite connect. As Solar comes in from behind, and oh, he's going for another kill in the base. He wants it. Oh, he's so close, and it looks like he will get a kill on the orbital. The Bailings, they connect with the bio as well. And again, this is all Solar has to do, just deny the gold over and over again. Deny this CC. Deny the CC here. Hydra's catching some reinforcements. That's a lot of libs. That's a lot of freedom. Is the freedom enough, though? Is freedom enough to carry Cure through this? He's making 4 Liberators at a time. It's a lot of libs. So far, good EMP here on the Vipers. Only 1 Yoink was available. But the Hydras, they're breaking on through. The Ling Bane crashes into the Bio Army. And there's just not enough to support. Cure, he's running out of steam. He's running out of army here. It is unfortunate that we did kind of miss a good portion of this game. We did miss out on, like, 3 or 4 minutes. I want to say around 3 minutes. And a lot did occur. And Curie's all in. He's all in as we go for another massive Ling run by, another Ling counterattack. Curie's economy's in shambles. He's down to 35 workers. He barely has an army. I mean, he's got a lot of Liberators, don't get us wrong. But this is all he has left. It's all or nothing. Yoinks here on the libs. They get taken out. The Hydra's going ham here. GG gets called. And Solar, he comes back. And he will advance on to the next round of Masters Coliseum. GG. GG, well played. Solar winning 3 games in a row. He was up against the wall. He was at death's door, by the way. Cure was up 3-1. He needed 1 more win. And Solar, he clawed his way back in, winning those 3 games. And part of me feels a little bit bittersweet about Side Delta. Whining about, remember Side Delta? That was that was a rough game where Cure, he was maybe a little bit overconfident, threw caution to the wind. He was giga greedy on Side Delta, was punished for it, and that was the beginning. That was the moment when momentum started swinging in favor of Solar, and when he started his comeback on that Side Delta game. GG, well played. Congratulations to both Solar and Dark for advancing on. My condolences to Max, Max, and Cure as they have been eliminated from Masters Coliseum. Again, I do apologize for us missing part of that game. For us missing, like, a pretty crucial moment of that game as well. Pretty crucial moment. Do apologize, but again, the clean feed did lose connection, and unfortunately, none of us were able to really catch what was going on, so do apologize. A little bit out of our hands, a little bit out of our control. But now we have the rest of the matches here. !B in the chat to have a look at the Wikipedia page. Tomorrow, we have the upper bracket. We have Maru versus Serral and Rainer versus Hero. Oh my god, really good matches going on there. The best of the best. Hero, arguably the best Protoss player in the world, up against Rainer. We have Maru versus Serral. Serral, of course, being the best Zerg, arguably the best player out there as well. And Maru has been on fire. I know that Clem, of course, off the back of ESL Masters Winter, has a lot of hype around Clem. Unfortunately, Clem wasn't able to replicate that here. Clem, he has been eliminated from Masters Coliseum already. And really, the Terran flag is going to be waved by Maru. And if you haven't been watching Masters Coliseum, if you have not been watching and not been keeping up with Masters Coliseum, watch the VODs, because Maru has been looking crazy. He's been looking insane. And fun fact, Maru versus Serral, we already casted it. We already casted it a couple of days ago. And Maru, he already 2-0'd Serral. He 2-0'd Serral in the group stage. And those are some really good games. Those are some really good games, really good matches. I recommend checking it out if you haven't already. It was an insane series in the group stage. Now, just because Maru's already beaten Serral once this week doesn't mean he's going to do it again, but it does bode well for him. And I'm sure Serral has been ruminating over that series. I'm sure he wants his revenge. I'm sure he has learned from it, and he will be coming back swinging strong. So I look forward to the rematch, especially because when Maru beat Serral, it was a best of 3. This is going to be a best of 5. It's going to be a best of 5 tomorrow in less than 24 hours. So be sure to be there for Maru versus Serral and Rainer versus Hero. Really good matches. Really intense series that are going to be going on. And as you saw, we're going to be covering the upper semis, followed by the upper bracket finals as well. The winner of those 2 matches are going to be facing off against each other tomorrow night. So 3 series overall. Make sure to be a part of it. Make sure to be a part of it there. And, yeah, with that, we are going to be done. We're going to be done here for the night. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And if you want to tune into some more of the CranKy Ducklings action, if you want to tune into more of us, then you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We do stream both on Twitch and on YouTube. !socials in the chat. So we're all over the place, all things CranKy Ducklings. Likewise, you can support us on Patreon. You can support us on Twitch or even YouTube when it comes to subscribing or being a member. All the money that we make goes towards our tournaments, goes towards our events that we have put on hiatus for January. Because of Masters Coliseum and all these tournaments going on, our events have been on hiatus for January. They're going to be coming back next month in February. So look forward to that. After IM TvZ, basically. We're going to be focusing on IM. Then we can come back and we can start fresh with our tournaments, with our events. So look forward to it. Otherwise, again, we're going to be here on a daily basis. We're going to be coming back here on a daily basis here every single day with Masters Coliseum, except for Saturday. Saturday, we're going to be busy with another event. Just as a heads up, Saturday is going to be the House Galactic Battle The hell is the House Galactic Battle? It is a LAN, it is an offline event in Poland, where the best of the best from Poland are going to be facing off. Players like Spirit, Alazer, Geralt, Christianer, Papi, and many others going to be facing off at an offline event in Poland, and we'll be the official English casters for that event. So we're going to be covering that. That means that day of Masters Coliseum, we're going to be casting the next day instead. We're going to be covering that on Sunday. So we're going to be doing a bit of a catch-up stream on Sunday with a lot of Masters Coliseum action. So just as a heads up, Otherwise, thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3 of the playoffs. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.